वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। Shloka number 12. You can repeat. First chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Shloka number 12 onwards. Tasya sanjanayan harsham Kuruvriddah pitamaha Simhanadam vinadyochaihi Shankam dadmau pratapavan Tatah shankascha bhairyascha
ततशङ्ख्याश्च देव्यश्च
पनवानकगोमुखाः
पणवानकगोमुखाः
सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त
सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त
सशब्दस्तु मुलोऽभवत्
सशब्दस्तुभवत्
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
गतिस्यन्दने स्थितौ
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव
माधवपाण्डवश्चैव
दिव्यौ शङ्कौ प्रदध्मतुः
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः
पाञ्चजन्यं ऋषिकेशः
पाञ्चजन्यं हृषीकेशः
देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः
देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः
पौण्ड्रं दद्मौ महाशङ्खम्
पौण्ड्रं दद्मौ महाशङ्खम्
भीमकर्मावृकोदरः
भीमकर्माविकोदरः
अनन्तविजयं राजा
अनन्तविजयं राजा
कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः
कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः
नकुलः सहदेवश्च
नकुलः सहदेवश्च
सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ
सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ
You can mute your mic now. Up to this we saw the last class. Now, both the Sena of the Pandava and the Kauravas, both the Senas are ready and the war is about to be started. And Bhishmacharya, he has blown the conch, he initiated the war cry by blowing his conch. And then following Bhishma, others also started beating their instruments, and the whole sky was reverberating with the noise of the Kauravas. Responding to it, the Pandavas, then they started blowing their conches and instruments, and Sanjaya, he gives a list of names of the people on the Pandavas side blowing their conches, starting with the name of the Lord, Panchajanyam Rishikeshaha iti, and Devadattam Dhananjayaha, that is Arjuna. So Sanjaya gives a list of names of the Pandavas, beginning with the name of the Lord. Rishikesha, he blew his conch, Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his conch, Devadatta. Bhima, Poundra, and Yudhishthira, Nakula, Sahadeva, all blew the conches. And the name of the conches were given. Ananta Vijayam, Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira. Ananta Vijayam is the name of the conch of Yudhishthira. Similarly, Nakula and Sahadeva, the names of the respective conches, Sugosha and Manipushpaka. Sugosha for Nakula, Manipushpaka for Sahadeva. So Sughosha Manipushpakau Shankau Nakula Sahadevau Dadmatuhu. So Sughosha Mani Pushpakau is Dvitiya Vibhakti Dvivachanam. Name of the conscious. Dvitiya Ramaha Ramo Ramaha Ramam Ramo. Dvitiya Vibhakti Dvivachanam. Pratama Vibhakti Dvivachanam, Dvitiya Vibhakti Dvivachanam will be same. So we have to identify whether it is Karta or Karma in the sentence. Here Karta is Nakula. Nakula and Sahadeva. Therefore, Sughosha Mani Pushpakau cannot be Karta. It must be Karma, the object. Therefore, Dvitiya Vibhakti Dvivachanam. This is how we fix the Vibhakti, the Karaka Vibhakti and understand the sentence. So, Sughosha Mani Pushpakau, therefore Shankau. Shankau, it is Karma. Karta is Nakula. If you want to write it, it has two sentences. You can do Nakulaha, Sughosha, Sughosham, Nakulaha, Sughosham, Dadmau, Sahadevaha, Mani Pushpakam, Dadmau. You can say. Anyway, grammar points aside, now the names of the conscious are given. This first chapter of the Gita, it introduces the context in which the Gita will be born. Gita is going to born, yet to be born, not yet. So it only gives the context. Therefore, there is nothing much to discuss about it. And the shlokas of this chapter are not important, but the context is important. Knowing Gita is not determined, the knowledge of Gita is not determined by the knowledge of what conscious Yudhishthira had and or Dhananjaya had. That is not the Tatparyam of Gita. So therefore, these shlokas are not that much important, but the context is important. That is presented by the first chapter. So the first chapter is very important from the context standpoint. So therefore, we can continue. We can continue with the next shloka. The next shloka, shloka number 17. We can repeat. Kashyascha parameshvasaha
Kashyascha parameshvasaha
Shikhandi cha maharataha
Shikhandi cha maharataha
Drishtadyumno viratascha
Drishtadyumno viratascha
Satyakischa parajitaha
Satyakischa paraditaha
Drupado Draupadeyascha
Drupado Draupadiyacha
Sarvashah Prithvipate
Sarvashah Prithvipate
Saubhadrascha Mahabahuhu
Saubhadrascha Mahabahuः
Shankan Dadmuh Prithak Prithak
Shankan Dadmuh Prithak Prithak.
So these two shlokas also cover the list of people on the Pandava side who blew their conches. So continuing with the 16th shloka, 15th and 16th shloka, the names of the conches of Lord Krishna and the Pandavas were given and they blew their conches. Now then the names of the other warriors who were present in the Pandava side, the names are given. Their conches are not given, just the names. They also blew their conches. Who are those people? Starting with Kashya, Kashyaha, Kashi Rajaha, Kashi Raja, not Rajaha, Kashi Raja, the king of Kashi, and he is Parameshvasaha. Parama Ishvasaha. Ishu means arrow. Ishvasaha is Dhanurdaraha. Parameshvasaha means Dhanurdaraha. Ishvasa means bow. The one with Parama, great bow. So the one with a great bow. Dhanurdaraha. Parama Dhanurdaraha. Parameshvasaha. Kashi Raja. Parameshwasaha Kashyaha, that is Kashi Raja. Then Shikandi. Shikandi is a Maharati, Harataha. He can manage many people simultaneously. We have seen one who can manage 10,000 people, 1,000 people. They got name Maharati, Atirati, Ardharati. So Shikandi is a Maharati, Maharataha. Shikandi cha Maharataha. So he can handle 10,000 people. He can protect his chariot, the charioteer, and can fight with 10,000 people simultaneously. So he's a great warrior, Shikandi. Even though we say Shikandi is neither a man or a woman, but he is a great warrior. So Shikandi cha Maharataha. So Kashi Raja, then Shikandi, then Drishtadyumnaha, Virataha, Satyaki, Aparajitaha Satyaki, all these people blew their conches. Now the Shikandi, there is a story, interesting story about Shikandi. In the Mahabharata, it comes. Shikandi, he had been born in his previous life as a woman. He was a woman in his previous life. He was Amba. The name of his previous Janma, he was born a woman, and her name was Amba. In this Janma is a man, turned into a man, particularly to take revenge on Bhishmacharya. Why? So Amba, that is the Shikandi's previous Janma, Amba, she was the eldest daughter of Kashi Raja. So she had two sisters, Ambika and Ambalika. So Amba, Ambika, Ambalika, three sisters. And Kashi Raja, he conducted Swayamvara, and he did not invite the king of Hastinapura. So therefore, the Bhishma, who was the protector of Hastinapura, who was a guardian and the protector of Hastinapura, he took away all the three daughters of Kashi Raja by force. By force, he took away, and he wanted them to be married to the king of the Hastinapura. Ambika, Ambalika, they were married to the kings of Hastinapura. Amba, she did not marry because she told Bhishma that she was already in love with the king of Shalva. And therefore she said that she cannot marry anyone. And Bhishma also understood, because already she is in love with someone. Therefore, Bhishma thought she will send back Amba. But when she went to the king Shalva, who also loved her before, but now he also rejected, because she was sent by Bhishma and he had lost the battle with Bhishma before. So therefore he felt insulted, and he rejected Amba also. Now Amba came back to Bhishma. To Hastinapura she came back, and she demanded that Bhishma should accept her as his wife, because Shalva denied. Now there is no choice. Bhishma had to accept. That was her demand. But Bhishma also declined, because he had taken the vow of celibacy. Brahmacharya Vrata he has taken. Therefore, he also denied. Now, therefore, neither she is with Shalva nor with Bhishma. So, she gave up her life, and he took a vow that she will come back in the next life and take revenge on Bhishma. So, therefore, the previous life she was she, the one who was she. Now, in this life, That person is he. So she has come in the form of he to kill Bhishmacharya. She wanted to take revenge on Bhishmacharya. So therefore, the Shikandi, and he gained a lot of power by tapas. She pleased the Lord Shiva by her tapas, and Lord Shiva also granted some boons. So with the particular motive, she came there. That motive is to kill Bhishmacharya, to take revenge. So, and Shikandi is a Maharatha, great warrior. He also blew his conch. When Shikandi is there, Bhishma will not fight, because Bhishma knows that she was Amba, so therefore he will not fight. And Shikandi was the only option with the Pandavas, available with the Pandavas to tackle Bhishma. So therefore Shikandi is important, therefore his name is also mentioned. So therefore, Kashi Raja, Shikandi, is a Maharatha, and Drishtadyumna, the son of Drupada, and the brother of Draupadi, Drishtadyumna, and Drishtadyumno Virataha, Satyaki. The Satyaki is given the title. The title is Aparajitaha. Satyakischa Aparajita. Satyaki is a name. Satyaki is a name. Satyakihi. Ikarantaha Pullinga Shabda. Satyakihi Ari Shabdavat. So Satyaki and is Aparajita. Nobody can defeat him. Jetum Ashakyaha. Parajetum Ashakyaha is Aparajita. Is ever victorious, ever successful. Virata Raja. So Virata Raja, Satyaki, Aparajitaha. Then Drupadaha. Drupada is the father of Draupadi and Drishtadyumna. And Draupadeyaha. The sons of Draupadi is Draupadeyaha. Draupadi becomes Draupadeya. Draupadi refers to the wife of Pandavas. And the sons of Draupadi, that is a son born to Pandavas through Draupadi. Draupadeyaha, referred to by the word Draupadeyaha. It's a Taddita word. Draupadeyaha. The 5 sons of Draupadi. Drupadaha, Draupadeyaha. Sarvashaha Prithivipate. Sarvashaha, survey from all people from all directions. Hey Prithivipate is Sambodhana. It's addressing Prithivipate. Hey Prithivipate. Drupadaha Draupadeyascha Sarvasha Prithivipate. Hey Prithivipate. Who is addressing? Sanjaya. Sanjaya, he addresses Dhritarashtra. Hey Prithivipate. All these people, Kashyaha, who is Parama Ishvasaha, Shikandi, Maharata, Drishtadyumnaha, Virataha, Satyaki, who is Aparajita, Drupada, and Draupadeya, Sarvashaha, all the people, He Prithivipate, then Saubhadrascha Mahabhaguhu, Saubhadra. Saubhadra is Subhadra's son. Saubhadra, that is Abhimanyu. Subhadrayaha apatyam puman Saubhadraha Abhimanyuhu. Is a Mahabhagu, the one with great arms. Bahu means hand, arms. The great arms. It means it's a very powerful warrior. Bahu denotes the strength. Bahubali. So that denotes the strength. So Mahabhagu Saubhadraha Shankan Pratak Dadmuhu. All these people Dadmuhu, blue. Bhagavachanam. Many people names are mentioned. Kashyaha, Shikandi, iti, many names are there. Therefore, Bhagavachanam. Dadmuhu. each blow their own conches. So many conches, therefore Shankan. That is also Bhagavachanam. So Sarve Yodaha Shankan Pratak Pratak Dadmuhu. Pratak Pratak means separately, distinctly. So all the people, they blew their conches separately, distinctly, one after the other. Why? Because Sanjay himself will say later, there is sound. The next sloka is going to come. The sounds are distinct. It's not like the sound on the side of the Kauravas. Here the sound of each the warriors were distinct, and by the sound you can make out whose Shanka is, who is beating the trumpet. You can make out. The sounds were distinct. So, Pratak Pratak Dadmuhu. Hey Prithivipate, O Lord of the earth. Prithivi is Bhumi. Prithivyaha Patihi. Pati, the master, the king, the Raja, Dripaha, who is a person, Dhritarashtra, because he was ruling. So, Dhritarashtra. Prithivipate, the name of Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya addresses. A Dhritarashtra, a Prithivipate. All these people, they blew the conches and the sounds were distinct. It's going to come in the next shloka. We will read shloka number 19. Saghosho dhartarashtranam
Saghoshodhartarashtraणाम्
hridayani vyadharayat nabhascha prithivim chaiva tumulo vyanunadayan Saghoshaha, Saha Goshaha Vyanunadayan Saha Goshaha Tumulaha San Navascha Prithivim Cha Vyanunadayan Dhartarashtranam Hridayani Vyadarayat. That sound, the sound of the conches from the Pandava side, reverberating, Nabaha Prithvi, reverberating throughout the earth and the Prithvi, the earth and the sky. Nabaha is sky, and it pierces the Hridayani, the heart, the Hridaya of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So here Vyasacharya says, Saha Ghoshaha. Ghoshaha means sound. Shabda, Dhvani. Saha Ghoshaha. It is Ekavachanam. The sound is given in Ekavachanam. But many people, they blew their conches and their instruments. So it must be a mixture of many sound, but is using Ekavachanam. He didn't say Te Goshaha, Saha Goshaha. The sound produced by the Pandavas, the instruments of Pandava, Saha Goshaha, the sound created, it's harmonious. That is why Saha Goshaha, Ekavachanam. Saha Goshaha. And Pratak Pratak, all the conches were blown. Pratak Pratak, very distinctly, separately. So therefore, there is a harmony in the sound. And that sound, Nabascha Prativim Chaiva Vyanunadayan. Vyanunadayan. Nada also means sound. Vyanunadayan means reverberating. The sound reverberated. Nabaha, sky. Prithvi, the earth. The sound, because of the echo, it is reverberated throughout. It's reverberated throughout, creating panic in the Duryodhana's army. And the sound became Tumulaha, become magnified, became huge. The sound became huge. The magnified the noise, the sounds of the conches. What happened? What created it? Dhartarashtranam Hridayani. Dhartarashtra means the sons of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtrasya putraha Dhartarashtraha Tesham Hridayani. Hridaya, the heart of them, that is the Kauravas. Vyadarayat. Vyadarayat means pierced, past tense, Langlakara. It pierced the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra, that is Kauravas, as though their hearts were pierced with the arrows. The sound pierced them. Hridayani Vidaryat, pierced, tore apart the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. It is only a figurative expression to show that how that sound quality was. It was Vyanunadagan, echoing, reverberating. The huge noise reverberated, went from earth to sky, back and forth, created fears, created diffidence in the hearts of the Kauravas. Sa Goshaha, that sound, the singular, it was a continuous sound. It is not a noise. It's not a noise, it is sound. Not like the noise came from the Duryodhana army. Here the sound is harmonious. It's an orderly sound. That orderly sound filled the earth and the sky, and it tore apart the hearts of Duryodhanas. Why? Because they are on the side of Adharma, therefore they are afraid. Even though the sound is harmonious, but they are afraid, therefore the sound pierced their hearts. It's a figurative expression. So, now the sound from the side of Kaurava and the Pandavas, all this description gives us only to understand the situation. The situation is the war is going to be started. It's going to be started. Now, Vyasacharya has prepared the stage for the commencement of the war. There is going to be the shower of arrows from both sides. Now the stage is set. At that moment, this crucial moment, something very strange is going to happen. Very strange. It is not ordinary. Something extraordinary event is going to happen, which the Vyasacharya presents from the following shlokas. That is shloka number 20 is going to present that. Something peculiar is going to happen. What is that? We will read shloka number 20. Atha vyavastitan drishtva Dhartarashtran kapidvajaha pravrutte shastra sampate Dhanurudyamya Pandavaha Rishikesham tada vakyam Idamaha mahipate. After that, Arjuna Vacha, that we will see later. First, these 3 lines. 20th shloka and 21st shloka. The first line is not the words, not the words of Arjuna. The second line only. So that we will read later. Now, Atha vyavastitan drishtva. Vyavastitan drishtva. Dhartarashtran kapidvajaha. Vrutte shastra sampate Dhanurudyamya Pandavaha. Now the both sides have declared. They have declared war, and they have declared war on each other, and they have shown the readiness to fight. So the war is definitely going to be started. There is no going back. 11 plus 7 Akshohinis on both sides. Both have show the readiness by blowing their conches and trumpeting the war instruments. So the war is definitely going to happen. So both the sides know very clearly. But there's something is going to happen. The war is going to be started, but not immediately. The war is definitely going to be started. That is why in the Mahabharata, the preparation of the armies on both sides are described. Udyoga Parva. There is a Parva. Parva means section. In the Parva, the section, it's called Udyoga Parva, where the preparation of the armies are described. That each side, how they collected their armies. Each side, they collected their army, and both sides, some kings and their army joined, and they're all assembled here now. So therefore, the war is going to be started. There is no going back. So, and they both know the consequence of the war also. They know the consequence of the war, and they know very well, both sides know very well, who is on the other side also. It is not that they are not known. Arjuna on the side of Pandava, he knows very well who is on the side of the Kaurava. Similarly, Duryodhana also knows. So each has the idea of the people and the strength on each side. On other side also, they know. Their side also, as well as the other side, they have got good knowledge. So now there is a change. There's going to be a turning point. There's going to be a turning point. Not that the war is going to be withdrawn. War is going to happen. But in between, something happens. That is indicated by the word atha. The word atha vyavasthitan. The word atha is important and indicates that. The word atha is a mangala suchaka shabda. It's a word of auspiciousness. Brahma Sutra, it starts Athato Brahma Jigyasa. The Brahma Sutra, which is a sutra work written by Vyasacharya, he starts his work with the Mangala Shabda Atha. Atha is a prayer, one word prayer, like Om. Om is a prarthana. Similarly, Atha, any work you do, any task, and particularly when you write a grantha, a text, it should begin with a prayer. A text without prayer should not be studied. An author also will not write. Tradition, they will not write any text without prayer. And sutra, being a sutra work, it also has a prayer in the form of a word, atha, the mangala suchaka shabda. Omkarashchata shabdascha Vaveto brahmanah pura kantham bhitva viniryato tasman mangalika vubhau. Brahmaji himself created this jagat uttering words atha, om. Brahmaji, he created this srishti uttering the sounds atha and om. These are mangala suchaka shabda. So, and here Vyasacharya uses the word atha. It means after this. So it indicates a significant change which is going to happen. Going to happen where? In whose mind? In the mind of Arjuna. Here, the Gita-upadesha is from the mouth of Bhagavan Krishna, and the disciple is Arjuna. So the change is going to happen in the mind of Arjuna. Atha, the word, is going to show the change happening, the attitude change happening in the mind of Arjuna. It denotes the preparedness The Ata is it suggests the preparedness which is going to come in the mind of Arjuna for receiving Gita. Atha. So therefore, Atha, when you say before Atha and before and after, two things are there. One thing has happened, and the next thing is going to happen. Therefore, you say Atha after this. That is the meaning of Atha after this. Arjuna, who was before and now after this. So you will see Arjuna, who was very eager to fight the war before Atha. Now, after this, what is going to happen in his mind? There is going to be change in his mind, the attitude, which is going to be unfolded by the other shlokas. Now, here, the Sanjaya, he tells Dhritarashtra. He tells Dhritarashtra, a Mahipate, seeing the Duryodhana army, it is standing arrayed in an order and ready to fight, ready for action. Arjuna too, getting ready for action. He lifted his bow in his hand and standing in the chariot. And the chariot has got the flag of Hanumanji. And he tells these words to Bhagavan Krishna, who is driving the chariot. This is the meaning of this shloka. Vyavastitan Dhartarashtran Drishtva. Dhartarashtran, the sons of Dhritarashtra. Vyavastitan, stationed, that is sons of Dhritarashtra, that is the army. The sons of Dhritarashtra and his army, which are stationed, Drishtva, having seen, who? Arjuna. Arjuna, from a distance, he saw the Kauravas and the supporters of Kaurava and the army, which are all stationed, arrayed, right in front of him. He saw that. Drishtva. Arjunaha. And the word is used, Kapidvajaha. Arjuna, the word is not used. Kapidvajaha. Kapidvaja is the name of Arjuna. Kapi means monkey. Dvaja means flag. The one who has the flag of Hanuman. Kapi is Hanuman. Hanumanji. The one who has the flag of Hanumanji. Kapidvajaha is Arjuna. Arjunaha Vyavastitan Dhartarashtan Drishtva, having seen the sons of Dhritarashtra, that is, it means its armies all stationed there. He saw Kapidvajaha. And here, Kapidvaja, this Kapi meaning Hanuman. Hanuman is connected to the Panchapandava. Hanumanji connected to Panchapandava. How? Hanumanji was the brother of Bhima. They are all born, both are born to the Vayu Bhagavan. Therefore, they are brothers. And there is a story also. Once Bhishma went in search of the Saugandhika Pushpa, which Draupadi demanded. When these Pandavas were in forest, that time Draupadi asked for Saugandhika Pushpa. So Bhima went in search of that. And on the way, he had to encounter Hanumanji. Hanumanji, he lay down on the way, obstructed his path. Then Hanumanji tested the strength of Bhima. And Bhima finally understood it was Hanumanji and blessed him. That's a story. Now, that time, Bhima requested Hanumanji, and Hanumanji also accepted to sit on the flag of Arjuna. He said he will not participate in the fight, but he will be sitting on the flag staff of Arjuna, and he will watch the war. And in fact, he watched the Bhishma's fighting and the fighting of others, Bhima, and he said, it seems, this war is nothing compared to the war of Ravana, Rama Ravana. This war, this Mahabharata war, which took 18 days, it is nothing compared to the war of Rama and Ravana. And another thing also, another thing also happened. That is important thing. This Gita Upadesha was given to Arjuna. We all know Arjuna was the only disciple in the battlefield. No other people were interested. Arjuna asked, he submitted to Krishna, and Krishna gave the Upadesha. It is going to come. We all knew that Arjuna was the only person, but he is not the only person alone. There was one more person, that is Hanuman. Hanumanji seated on the flag of Arjuna. He also was listening. He also was listening to the Upadesha, Gita Upadesha from the mouth of Bhagavan himself. So, in fact, therefore, Bhagavan Krishna, he taught two people. One is Arjuna, other one is Hanumanji. Hanumanji also heard the Gita. And it is said Hanumanji also wrote a Bhashyam. Bhashyam on what Bhagavan taught. That Bhashyam is called Paishacha Bhashyam. Paishacha Bhashyam. Paishacha means that is not visible. That is called Paishacha. And Hanumanji was not visible. He was seated in the flagstaff, not visible to others. So therefore, his Bhashyam, it's called Paishacha Bhashyam. He listened to the words of Bhagavan and he wrote a Bhashyam. And there seems to be a brief commentary. A commentary is available on that Bhashyam. So, two people were listening, not one people. But Sanjaya reported only Arjuna. Arjuna was the only person. But Anjaneya also was with Arjuna in his chariot, listening to the discourse of Bhagavan Krishna. Now the question may come, how is that Anjaneya was there? Because Anjaneya was in Treta Yugam, in the period of Rama. Now this Mahabharata war is happening at the end of Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga is going to be started. How is that Hanumanji who was in Treta Yuga, is it the same Hanumanji or is it a different Hanumanji? The question may come. Hanumanji is one of the 7 Chiranjeevi. He doesn't have Maranam. He continues to live. Even now he is there. Yatra yatra Raghunama Kirtram, tatra tatra. He will be there. So he is one of the 7 Chiranjeevi. In fact, in Mahabharata itself, there are many Chiranjeevis. Ashwatthama is one. Ashwatthama is there. Kripaha is there. All are Chiranjeevis. Ashwatthama Balir Vyasaha, Hanumanscha Vibhishanaha, Kripah Parashuramascha, Saptaite Chirajivinaha. All these 7 people are Chiranjeevis. Ashwatthama, Balihi, that Bali, Raja, then Vyasa, Hanuman, Vibhishanaha, Kripaha, Parashurama. All these are Chirajivinaha. So, therefore, Hanumanji also was blessed to hear the Gitopadesha from the mouth of the Lord Krishna, who is not different from Lord Rama. The same Bhagavan, same Rama, in this incarnation, in Dwapara Yuga, he has come in the form of Krishna. And from the mouth of Krishna, Anjaneya got the Upadesha. That is the significance of Kapidwajaha. Arjuna, who had the flag in which Hanumanji was present. Kapidwajaha. Dvaje, Kapihi Dvaje Yasya Saha Arjunaha. In the flag, Kapi was there for whom That is for Arjuna. It's a Bhagavrihi Samasa. And that Arjuna Kapidvajaha Dhartarashtran Vyavasthitan Dhartarashtran Drishtva Ata Shastra Sampata. Pat means to fall. Shastra Sampate Pravritte means there is going to be a shower of arrows. There is going to be an exchange of arrows and weapons, Shastra and Astra, which is going to be commenced, which is going to be started. Shastra Sampate Kapidvajaha, that is Arjunaha, Danuhu Udyamya, Danuhu, bow, Udyamya, lifting, raising is bow, raising is bow, Udyamya, Pandavaha, Pandava refers to Arjuna. What did he do? Rishikesham aha. He told Rishikesha. Rishikesham is a karma, Dvitiya Bhakti Ekavachanam. So, Pandavaha, Kapidvajaha, Arjunaha, Rishikesham aha. He told Rishikesha. What? Idam Vakyam. These words he told. To whom? Rishikesha. Kaha Arjunaha. Rishikesha. Rishikanam, that is Indriyanam, Ishaha, Rishikesha, the Lord of Indriyas. Lord of Indriyas is Rishikesha. Who is the Lord of Indriyas? Atma. Atma is one for which only the Indriyas are there. The Indriyas, Rishikana means Indriyana, sense organs. The Lord of sense organs. The sense organs function because of Atma. Atma is there, therefore sense organs are functioning. Therefore the Jiva is alive. Minus Atma, they are not there. They are not different from Atma. That is different. But all these sense organs, they function only in the presence of Atma. So Rishikesha means Atma, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So that Rishikesham, the name of the Lord is Rishikesha. To him, Arjunaha, idam vakyam, aha means uvacha, he told. Hey Mahipate, again this Mahipate addressed by Sanjaya. Sanjaya addresses Dhritarashtra. Hey Mahipate, Kapidvajaha, that is Arjuna, Vyavastitan Dhartarashtan Drishtva, having seen the Dhartarashtras who were arrayed. Then the shooting of arrows, when the shooting of arrows is going to be started, arrows and weapons going to be started, then Pandava, that is Arjuna, having lifted his bow, said these words to Rishikesha. Iti Sanjaya says. Now, what did Arjuna say to Rishikesha? That is going to come in the next shloka. That line alone we will read. Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna uvacha.
Senayorubayor madhye.
Senayorubayor madhye.
Ratam stapaya mechyuta. E achyuta me ratam. Me means my rata. Stapaya, place it. Where? Senayogo ubayogo madhye. Pandava Kaurava yogo Sena yogo madhye ratam stapaya. Place my chariot in between the armies of the two armies. Arjuna wanted to see the army and the people who are assembled on the other side. Who are assembled on the other side to fight with them. He wanted to have a look. So he said these words. That is what is referred to by the previous shloka. Idam vakyam. Vakyam, these are the words. This is the vakyam. Senayogo ubayogo madhye ratam stapaya he achyuta iti idam vakyam Arjunaha uvacha he Mahipate iti Sanjaya says he tells Dhritarashtra. Then it will continue. It's going to be continued, that we will see. We will see in the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangarakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidasura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद
गुरुजी.
गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद शरण जी.
धन्यवाद.